The Art of Talk for Life and Love. Chapter 1. Talk with a Soft Voice. 1. Talk, tone of voice, expression. Let's say that I've read at least 200 articles and books about love and marriage and have probably seen at least 50 interviews and journalism pieces on the subject on TV. The one thing that they all say unequivocally is that for any love affair to work, the couple must constantly talk to each other on a daily basis to keep a common ground and clear the air of any turbulence. Unfortunately, many people do not talk to each other day by day. They're either too tired, too lazy, too interested in other things, like watching TV, too busy with work, or are simply too shy and repressed to have a good, open relationship with their spouse. This is the beginning of either a dull relationship or the beginning of the end of one. All successful marriages have this one thing in common: the couple talks regularly about what they're feeling and doing day by day. You have to open up and talk about everything, even sex. Just say what's on your mind. You're only a human being telling the truth about what you feel. It's better to say it than to keep it fuming beneath the surface. By the same token that talking separates good to great marriages from bad ones, talking too can be the quickest way to destroy a marriage. If you read the book of Proverbs in the Bible, it's loaded with proverbs about watching your tongue and keeping it still when you're angry, because many millions of people have said the wrong, hurting, biting thing when they were angry that became the unforgivable moment. You can't take it back. Some lovers never forget. If you say something very painful, it's only natural that your spouse will never forget it, will think that it's your true feeling about him or her, will carry it in their souls and never forgive you. This describes me to a T. I never forget. If someone says something too cutting to me, I never forgive them. I still have relatives who I've never forgiven. They have long forgotten what they said to me that was so negative. I'm superficially pleasant with them, but the bridge has been broken. After somebody says something that bad to you, the connection is broken. It can't be mended because people don't really change what's in their souls. That's the way I see it. The lesson is to hold your tongue. Think twice before you say something so hurtful that it will destroy the love in the marriage. Many people stay after hurtful things are said, but it's never the same after that. It's like something has broken. Be very wary about saying hurtful, critical, insulting things to your spouse. Be very wary about being defensiveness, which means to act like a wimp, blame everybody and everything but yourself for all your problems and problems in the relationship. Be open, straight up. Be willing to discuss the problems in your marriage and your shortcomings as a person. Step up to the plate. Speak honestly and humbly when you must to clear up a problem in the marriage. Earn trust over time by being as straight, open, unpretentious, calm, and honest as you can. Give compliments. Focus on the positive things your partner does. Be romantic and friendly. What you say is important, and so is how you say it through your facial expression, body language, and the tone in your voice. Be positive in all these things. The voice info. People want to hear a calm, warm, soothing voice. Love talk is very easy. People are very intelligent. They can quickly read your mood by your look and your voice. The best voices are soft, gentle, easy voices. I was watching a lion trainer on TV. He was saying the animal goes by your tone of voice. The animal knows if you're being gentle or aggressive by your voice. It does not matter what you say. It's the tone of voice. Way back during the O.J. Simpson trial, I had never seen a court trial before. I was watching O.J.'s lawyers like Barry Scheck try to destroy that fun guy who was crime analyst by talking down to him, hollering at him, being contemptuous in voice. It was so obvious and disrespectful. Then I saw him several years later working on the Innocence Project. I thought he was an asshole from the way he talked to that guy during that trial, yet here he is volunteering his time to get innocent crooks out of jail. Back in the day, we used to do steroids, so we were sitting around talking one day and one of the guys said, the way we are right now at this moment is normal to us, but to others we look like Vikings because we were big arrogant buggers back then. Catch yourself. See how you talk to people to see if you're being a jerk without even realizing it. When I come across any girl or guy with a soft voice, I know I'm in the company of a nice, decent person. On the other hand, if you want to be a jerk or sarcastic, merely raise your voice and talk as though you're shoving it down their throats real forceful like. Be aware of your voice. Note how when you talk gently, people talk gently and like you. Be aware when you start getting forceful. Talk is the soul of romance because it's direct, outer communication. Learn to talk like a gentle, loving person. It doesn't much matter what you say, it's the amount of tenderness in your voice. That's all that really matters. That's the rock bottom truth. People will judge you based on tone of voice over what you say. The best voice is the soft, gentle voice. The voice reflects your inner emotion. The people with the sexiest voices around in my opinion are jazz DJs, either male or female. They have calm, deep, low, smooth, husky, jazzy voices. Find a good one on the radio. Listen to him or her and study their voice, then practice on your own. Many of them have had professional voice training to sound like that naturally. The trick is to breathe deeper and use the lower register of your larynx rather than just the middle range. Become a student of sexy talk. When you see someone with a good, sexy voice on TV, tape it and study them. What are the qualities that appeal to you? Try to imitate it. Get that Mae West, Catwoman purr to your voice. Men, get that soft, gentle, erotic quality to your voice. Speech is learned during early childhood but can be changed during adulthood if necessary. When you speak, try to show your love of the language without being pompous. Paint pictures with your words and stories. Be interesting, use neat words and phrases. Practice conversation. There's a difference between functional conversation and entertainment conversation. Be a good listener. Listening is a big part of conversation. The voice is made up of several qualities. Pitch, low to high. Inflection, pitch variety, expressive speech, rise and fall. Energy, level of enthusiasm. Duration, like the differences in musical notes, the duration is how much time you spend on a word or syllable and emphasize it. Volume, loudness or softness, overbearing, shy or insecure. Tempo, rate of speed at which you speak, fast or slow. Mood, emotional state, up or down. The voice should be pleasant, melodious, energetic, clear, interesting, pleasing, creative, articulate, and friendly, well modulated, full and rich. Think before you speak and speak with quiet confidence. The tone should be medium, not too soft or too high, and you should vary the inflection rising and falling appropriately as you speak so as not to speak in a monotone. Most people speak in too high a pitch range. You should speak in the lower third of your pitch range. Speak with a smile in your voice. Varying the volume and inflection adds to the animation in speech. Sometimes whispering or speaking softly is effective. The biggest voice turn-offs are a nasal twang, bossy, aggressive voice and shrill, whiny voices. A nasal twang comes from expelling air through the nose instead of the mouth. If you have it, practice to get rid of it. The way to practice training your voice is to articulate. Say the alphabet and all the other double consonant sounds like sh, ch, str, br, sn, tr, etc. Practice high and low vowel sounds. Practice hard words. Look at yourself in the mirror when you speak. The three major nasal sounds are and eng. Practice them. Record yourself. Read passages out of books. Find poetry, number 811 at the library, with alliteration and onomatopoeia, which are literary devices where the sounds are the same, like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. You can practice by saying these hard phrases over and over again. The biggest speech turn-offs are swearing, a limited vocabulary, doesn't articulate clearly, bad grammar, regional accents, mumbling, incorrect verb tenses, lack of fullness in speech, mispronunciation, poor vocabulary, lack of inflection, up or down in voice, improper volume, too fast or too slow, motor mouth, shut up already. The human vocal cords are 3/4 inch long. The lower part is muscle, the rear part is cartilage. It vibrates 256 times per second on average. It's a muscle. When you speak loudly, it vibrates 2 to 3 times faster than normal and gets tired. When irritated, it could get infected. When you cough, it's your vocal cords smacking together. If you irritate the vocal cords, talking softly is better than whispering. Not talking at all is best. The vocal cords modulate the breath that passes through them. For maximal voice quality, just the right amount of air must pass through them. You can practice by inhaling and exhaling. The vocal cords are very tender and easily damaged, such as when you talk too loudly and / or for too long. If you speak for an extended period of time, you must keep the vocal cords moist by drinking water as you speak. The body converts water into lubricating mucus. When you clear your throat, it means your vocal cords are too dry. You should drink more water. The vocal cords cause a buzzing sound. The lips, tongue, and teeth are what give you speech. Cold air is bad for the vocal cords. Breath through your nose in such situations. To practice speaking, either talk to talkative people or speak aloud while you read. Some tips to increase your command of the language are: read good books. Read the dictionary. When you find interesting words, write them down. Practice taking to people. Play word games with people like Scrabble. Play word games by yourself like crossword puzzles, word game software. Watch high-end shows on TV and listen to stuff like National Public Radio, NPR. Books about voice, speech, and speaking are at #808.50-52 at the library. Try the term Voice and Speech Trainers Association. In search engines: voicenews.com. Listen to thebeat.wordpress.com/2011/03/28/the-warmth-of-a-voice, warmth of a man's voice. American Speech Language Hearing Association. 800-638-8255. asha.org. Women interpret silence as danger in the relationship. A lot of guys think I got the girl, we got married, I work every day, when I come home I want to rest and watch TV. I don't need to talk. I don't particularly like to talk because I think nothing much interesting ever gets said, but for a lot of girls, silence means that there is something wrong in the relationship. Girls are wired this way. Take the most beautiful girl. Her husband rarely talks to her. She immediately thinks he is having an affair and does not love her anymore. The guy is not talking because he's tired out from work, plus he thinks talk is cheap and actions speak louder than words, but the girl rarely gets it. She is insecure. She thinks his silence is a deterioration of the relationship. I don't believe these facts about silence will change anytime soon, so men have to talk every day. Do a little bit of small talk. The girl wants to feel your headspace. She wants the reassurance that you're still there, at that relationship is fine level. If you don't do this, you become an alien being to her. She doesn't know what you are thinking. Virtually all women will fill the silence with the worst case scenario in their minds. Always be sociable with your spouse. Don't be silent for long periods of time. Pleasant communication / relationship communication / intimate communication. Love is the most personal way two people communicate their feelings to one another. When you feel loving, romantic, and horny, say appropriate loving, romantic and sensual things to your lover. Be aware of the nonverbal messages you give off in body language and facial gestures. The best way to argue is to shut your mouth when you feel angry. Wait for some time to pass. It could be 5 minutes or a day, but then go and say you're sorry for getting angry and explain yourself in a gentle tone. Think of dirty or cynical looks. One look can cause love, breakup or even murder. When you lie, you often give off signals that give you away. Smile more. Touch your lover, sit close to them and look right at them when talking. When your lover feels uncomfortable, back off a bit. Eye contact means an increase in intimacy. Avoiding eye contact means not interested. Glaring is rude and could be seen as aggression. If someone holds your eye longer than is normal, then it will set you wondering about what it means. With body language, an open body signifies comfort. A closed body means disdain. Closeness is intimacy. Moving away is a sign of animosity. Your tone of voice communicates what you're feeling. Your facial expression gives an indication of what you're thinking, but people try to fake their facial expressions a lot, as with fake smiles. These are pretty well necessary in any job. You can't show negative feelings, otherwise they'll say you got a bad attitude and fire you. Try not to be over-friendly or under-friendly with loved ones. They have a comfort level. Your resting facial expression should show no emotion. This the ideal face to show to the world. If you act too smiley and laugh, people might think you're nuts or you're trying to act superior, as though you're belittling them. There is a guy I talk to. Sometimes he laughs inappropriately. That's what I don't like him. What is he laughing about out of the blue when I'm trying to talk to him like a mature man? The more someone looks at you, the more they are probably attracted to you. When in doubt, don't show a lot of emotion. High emotion is usually interpreted as instability, a scatterbrain, somebody not in control. If you get creepy feelings about strangers, trust them. If you go on a date and a guy seems to be lying a lot, leave the situation. Most people will put on airs to try to create an image about themselves. A few will be who they are and not care what others think. It should be easy to figure out the fakes from the hippies. If you want someone to like you, imitate them, agree with them and mirror back what they say, even if they're full of shit. All good politicians do this. After they're done talking to you, they'll be completely different with the next guy. They play the role of what they think the person they're talking to is. Get another person to talk more by asking open-ended questions rather than questions that could be answered with a single word. Talk about things he or she is interested in. Reward anything that they say with smiles and nods. Rhythm is important in communication. Let others speak. Be relaxed. Don't try to impress. Silence is good. It's no big deal. Let them initiate rather than you struggling to think up the next question. A business encounter is like develop common ground and get to the point. A social conversation is like dancing around for fun. Adopt a warm, friendly manner. Be nice and pleasant. Find common interests or experiences. Meet the other person on their own ground. Talk to Christians with clean language. Talk to a redneck like you're hanging out at the garage. Don't try too hard. If you're at a social event, try to talk as though you're being real. If you feel like there are fake people all around you or that nobody wants to talk to you, don't impose yourself on others. Walk out. It's no big deal. People are insecure. They will muckle onto people they know and will not open up to a new stranger in their midst. I've been in those situations, which is why now I can easily walk out of anywhere rather than staying to try to be a good sport about it. I used to work in bars, plus I did military officer training where I was on a ship that went to foreign ports where we went to social functions. Some people are trying to act cool. A lot of people are closed off. You're supposed to be mingle, but that's a joke. Chicks aren't interested unless the guy is a potential mate. Guys aren't interested unless a business opportunity is possible, so there I was trying to be fake and cool so that people would think I was interesting and fun and befriend me. I don't need to go out and meet new people now, but at one time I was naive and wanted to learn about life, so I went to social events. After a while you see they're all the same. You can possibly meet a mate, but you got to have nerves of steel first to get through all the fake crap that goes on at these events, with everyone trying to act like they got game, money, power, or they're simply fascinating and cool. I'm over it. Alcohol will not help in a social situation. It's best to pretend you're drinking a lot and stay alert to what's going on rather than getting drunk and possibly doing something really stupid. Communication with heart. Keep a meaningful connection day by day where you feel safe with each other. Of the 100 or more psychobabble, one-trick pony love and sex books I've scanned, I've often finished reading their 250 or so pages to think to myself, another little book. I could have summarized it down into 2 statements. Talk more about things that matter. Take romantic walks on the beach together at sunset. Even though it's very elementary, it's true. The ability to communicate with each other is the one thing that will either break or make a marriage. It doesn't matter what hard times you're going through, you can get through most if you talk and keep a close connection. Poor communication causes alienation, you're both living in different worlds. Communication is simple. Talk to each other about things that matter. Even if you barely talk, you are still communicating something through body language, behavior, things you do and tone of voice. Instead of going out to do something where there is external entertainment like a movie, a concert, etc., just go for a walk where it is just the two of you so you can talk. Don't even go to a restaurant. You'll be distracted by food. Just go for a walk or a drive. When you eat, eat together and have no mass media on. Anybody who has ever lived with anyone knows that everyone monitors each other for current mood. If you don't talk and connect even at the most superficial level every few days, as a lot of husbands don't do, you start to lose the connection. The wife wonders why the guy isn't talking to her, thinks he's either cheating or doesn't love her anymore, when the truth could be that he's just so into his own little life that he doesn't stop and think he'd better talk to her for a few minutes to reel her in, so to speak, to reassure her that he's on the same wavelength as her and everything is fine. This can be accomplished by general social banter during the meal. What you talk about is not important. The very fact that you're communicating together is. Create a safe place in your relationship. Talk softly and be loyal. Talk and listen regularly about anything and everything. Speak from the heart, no phoniness. Take a tip from the Bible about the art of communication. Fix your thoughts on what is true and good and right. Think about things that are pure and lovely and dwell on the fine, good things in others. Think about all you can praise God for and be glad about, and then talk about them to her. Philippians 4:8. I heard an older song from Billy Joel's album An Innocent Man called Tell Her About It. Listen to the words to it. There's a line in there that tells you to communicate to her what you feel. Most communication is nonverbal body language and tone of voice rather than info communicated. Even if you feel grumpy, try to be gentle with your voice. Let your defenses go down and let the marriage grow naturally. Even among lovers, we only reveal so much and keep the rest hidden away, often preferring the safe, superficial route. The secret is to open yourself up, allow yourself to be vulnerable and try for heart-to-heart communication as soulmates. You have to be passionate about each other and share deep feelings, both good and bad. When you feel good, share yourself with your lover. When you feel down and out, share your feelings with your partner. If you fight, talk it out, find out why. Communication is simple. Your lover wants to be understood for who they are on their terms, which is why you have to get out of yourself when you're with them to see the world from their point of view and show them you understand. That's how simple it is. There is an art to talking, as I discuss later. Generally, there are 2 levels of communication. We talk to communicate practical information, because we want something. We talk to exchange pleasantries and because it feels good. The art of talk is all about fun. If you want something, it's all about subtlety. The rules are simple. Burn them into your memory, never criticize, blame, complain, or get defensive. Use compliments instead and you will marvel at how much a little bit of love brings back to you. Don't be long-winded, just have short talks, then hug and kiss. You can't expect to get a connection back immediately after your relationship has cooled off. You build it back firstly through small talk and doing nice things for each other. Do not bully your partner with threats, hollering, belittling, etc. If you have nothing good to say, say nothing, because if you say something it could be the unforgivable thing that ends the marriage. Explain things clearly. Never assume you understand. Ask for specifics. Be wary about saying negative things that translate to "I wish was single again." A lot of people make this hurtful comments without even realizing it. Try to clear any tension within 3 days, because if the tension simmers on, it will blow up at some point in time. Try to resolve a problem as one situation, not as an attack on your mate. When your mate snipes at you, answer either with nothing or with love. Don't just snipe back. Take responsibility. When you screw up or act insensitive, apologize. A lot of things are better left alone to blow over. You don't have to always win. Let it go. Who cares what movie you go to or what cereal you eat? Don't attack your mate as soon as they walk in the door. When he's relaxed, talk to him. A lot of wives build up their resentment all day, then attack the guy when he has just finished working all day. Nobody really changes. You are who you are. Know that before you marry. Don't play games by fuming. They call this the cold shoulder or passive-aggressive tactics. Tell him what's on your mind that you don't like. Talk about your feelings and take responsibility for working through them with your partner. Silences can become longer and longer each time until you both lose touch with each other permanently. Take responsibility for your feelings and speak about them. Don't nag. Be positive and loving. Praise and encourage each other. Silence is golden sometimes, especially after a long, hard day at work. You don't necessarily have to talk to enjoy each other's company. If the man's kind of a macho, strong silent type, don't probe too much about his inner feelings. He already loves you by being there. He proves himself by his actions. Small talk may be just bull to him. If he really loves you, play it his way. That means biting your lip, knowing when not to talk, to keep your mouth shut about something and let it go rather than bothering with it at all. Nobody likes a chatterbox. Contrary to popular opinion, it's not necessarily cute. Some people say that chatterboxes are really trying to keep intimacy away by talking all the time. Zip it up a bit. One time, I went out with an attractive girl, but after a long car ride with her, I couldn't stand her much because she had this need to talk all the time. I don't know if she was trying to be cute or just messed up, but I didn't stick around to find out. Chapter 2. Talk with a soft voice 2. Self-knowledge, communication, and kindness. There might be many cosmetic treatments for sexual problems, but the most central real treatment is to try for intimacy, not necessarily the intense all-or-nothing hot-to-trot intimacy, but focus on the little things, of being romantic in the little ways you show you love each other, then work up to the bigger things. There was some Buddhist guy talking about his religion, and he said it comes down to one thing: kindness. Kindness is always the answer. Look at the holistic picture of you two as a couple, not just as two intimate lovers, but in everything you do, in raising the kids, in doing the housework, in the money you make, in the spending of relaxing time together, etc. Try to come together to see where your sexual difficulties are, educate yourselves together, then make a commitment to try to be intimate with each other by doing things together to connect emotionally. Be kind. Don't be forceful. Don't give him ultimatums. Just tell him you want the two of you to try to get the spark back, and if he seems cynical about it, make your decision about either staying with him or leaving to go live your own life, which will be better than being with a dud. If you're both committed, you can tough it out for a while and hope it reaches a level of intimacy where the love and sex come easy and are flowing in harmony with one another forever. Don't blame, ignore, or deny sexual and life problems. Discuss them and be realistic about expectations for improvement. If you want the relationship to go on happily, keep having regular sex with one another whilst continuing to love one another. Men say they don't get sex as often as they want. Women say they want more foreplay and romance, so sexually speaking, This is what each sex should strive to improve, because virtually no one gets the sex they really want out of the deal the way they really want it. There's always room for improvement. Can people have a great relationship even if they aren't getting it on in bed? Some people can. Often two pseudo-asexual people who like the companionship but not the sex are great for each other, but more often, at least one party is feeling deprived, and this will ripple out into other parts of the relationship. Some couples try to bury the problem and deny it, others will try to deal with it. The so-called experts say go to a therapist and talk it out. Of course, they will say that, that's how they make their money, but there's a grain of truth to it. It's just that you don't have to go to a therapist, just try to resolve it between you two as a couple by talking it out and being romantic with one another. The mantra is talk about sexual problem matters in a sensitive, respectful, non-judgmental way, then after that pursue non-intercourse centered sex, letting the experience go where it may, which may be intercourse sex or just kissing and cuddling. For self-knowledge and better communication as a couple, you might consider answering the following questions, either or both by yourself by writing the answers out, and together by talking them out. Do you both feel free in the relationship such that you can be who you are? Share your lives with each other both in and out of the bedroom. Truly love each other and are not just there for the money or to be seen out in public with her as a trophy wife. Respect each other and don't use your partner for ulterior motives like a meal ticket, a maid, a babysitter for your kids, etc. Are you honest with each other about your feelings? Do you both get joy out of your sex life together? Do you both get joy out of your non-sexual life together? Are you both good friends on a day-to-day living life casually level? Is there genuine intimacy and an emotional connection between you two, or is it either a put-on or something that you may have once had but has long since faded away into indifference and nothingness? Define great sex and the attributes of a great lover. What is the definition of a good sex life for the two of you as a couple? How do you specifically please each other in bed? Do you spend time at love, sex, and romance? Do you talk about love, sex, and romance? Do you touch each other non-sexually just to be intimate? Is there a trust there such that you feel you can open up sexually, romantically, and emotionally to your spouse/lover without them putting you off, ignoring you, rejecting you, or making you feel like a fool? Are you inherently lazy, that is, you can't be bothered with love, sex, or romance because it takes too much effort? What is your major sexual hang-up/problem? Do you think about it often? Does it give you a mental illness like anxiety or depression? Does it affect your definition of yourself as a man or woman? Does it affect your sex life much? Yes, it give you an inferiority complex? Does your lover/spouse know your problem? Do they understand it and try to work with you? What is your lover's weakness or major hang-up/problem in the sexual realm? Do you talk about it, understand her, and try to work on improving it? Do you seek out education and advice in trying to improve your sex life? Why or why not? Does it help you? What is your definition of an ideal sex life? What is your definition of a great lover? What do you want your lover to be like? Do you two talk and support each other both in sexual matters and non-sexually? Is your relationship happy and intimate? If not, why not? What can you do to improve it? Is there a basic mutual respect in your relationship? If not, why not? Do you know what your partner's problems and insecurities are in life both in and out of the bedroom? Are you supportive of him or her? Do you both try new and different things both in and out of the bedroom to keep your lives interesting? Do you two both have the same attitude that anything two people do with each other if they're in love is alright, or are you slightly more repressed, having a taboo about certain things like oral or anal sex? If so, does your partner share these inhibitions? Are you both on the same level with respect to how open or inhibited you are? Do you each make the effort to stay vital, strong, beautiful, sexy, and romantic, or have you degenerated in Dullsville and simply work, eat and watch TV? The art of the compliment. A compliment is something like a kiss through a veil. Victor Hugo. The aim of flattery is to soothe and encourage us by assuring us of the truth of an opinion we have already formed about ourselves. Edith Sitwell, The Last Years of a Rebel, 1976. Everybody loves a compliment, especially if it's sincere and from a stranger. In an etiquette book, I read that you shouldn't compliment people on what God gave them, i.e., their looks, but rather compliment them on what they do or have created, but I disagree. I feel that physical look is so entrenched in this culture that most men and women love to be complimented on their looks and bodies. Beyond looks, compliment something unique about the person that exemplifies who they are as people, something about how kind, intelligent or athletic they are. Compliments about clothes and jewelry are all right if used very sparingly, because underneath it all, they're empty, adding no substance to the potential relationship. Compliments are fine if you make them about something they say. Many friendships begin with a compliment. Think that way. When you compliment someone, try to convey some happy emotion in your voice, like, "Wow, you look great." Look into her eyes, right through them, down into her soul, then smile subtly to see if she smiles back. You gotta mean it from the bottom of your soul. Don't overdo it. Once is enough. After that, you gotta think up different creative things to say, if anything at all. One good compliment should be all it takes to make her feel great for the rest of the day. After that compliment, silence and long looks in the eyes will do just fine. Flattery is fine if justified. It could be the thing that breaks the ice and either helps you meet a stranger or puts your lovey pie at ease, even if it is a little phony. It's alright, it's the thought that counts. If the flattery goes off flat, it could be awkward, so watch it. After you give the compliment, don't expect the receiver to melt like butter and swoon all over the place. Just smile and look into their eyes briefly, blink quickly a few times, give a slight nod, and that should be it. Play it cool. It ain't a big deal, but remember that one well-placed compliment could easily make someone's day, so don't be shy about it. The easy ones are looking good or hey cutie. If you're really shy, regardless of whether you're a man or a woman, at least try the subtle approach of complimenting people, smile, and then telling them that you think they're attractive, kinda cute, cool dude, sharp, nice, pretty, handsome, whatever. Just as men are supposed to compliment women, women have to do the same to men. A few, well-placed compliments just might get him off his butt to do some things. Even if you don't feel it, sometimes say things like, "I love you. You're the most beautiful lady/guy in the world to me. I'm sorry. Thank you. You were right. I was wrong. I will do my best. It wasn't your fault. It was my fault. Forget it, it was just a thing. I love you so much. You're all I care about." Writing love letters and messages. In the old days, before telephones and TV, people wrote love letters to each other. These days, you might have email, but somehow it doesn't seem as romantic as handwritten love letters or post-it notes with love messages on them left at opportune places. One couple, even though married, still write love letters to each other and send them through the mail. If you see someone you like somewhere working a job, go to a flower shop, buy some flowers, a card, and write a quick love letter on it that says something like, "You're very pretty. I'd like to take you out sometime," or "You're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen in my life." Get her name from her name tag. You could always ask a coworker. They will give it if you say you wanna send her flowers. They go for that corny romance stuff. Get someone to deliver it or deliver it yourself. Another one is a box of chocolates with a note, "These chocolates aren't as sweet as you. I rarely see true beauty. You got it in your soul. Next time you go, she will give you the come on if she likes you." The point is, whether you're in love or looking to fall in love, don't underestimate the power of a love message. If she doesn't know it's you, just walk past and something like, "Do you like flowers?" or "Did you like the flowers?" or just the word flowers, so she knows. Then you can monitor her for come on signals. There's something magical that happens when you take the time to show your love for somebody by putting it down on paper. All women love it. Love letters will do it every time as long as you're sincere and don't overdo them. The second thing is gifts. I'm not talking gifts for birthdays and anniversaries, I'm talking about spontaneous gifts out of the blue for no particular reason. They don't have to cost much, just a little teddy bear, a love song tape or a $25 dress or anything like that. Write out love messages in lipstick on the bathroom. Buy a red Bristol board, cut out heart shapes and write messages on them. Send her a love letter, true and blue. Always use X's and O's and hearts when writing love letters. They mean hugs and kisses. Write your love letters with nice, marker-like pens. Use nice stationery. Write her a love letter and send it to a local letters to the editor section of your newspaper for possible publication. Write a love letter on your partner's computer in her main file. Buy her an answering machine, then fill it up with love messages every day. Write love messages on pillows and lay them out when he's in the bathroom. Always spray perfume/cologne on your love letters. Send a letter inviting your husband out on a date. Put love notes and flowers in his glove compartment. Write a love note in a foreign language and give it to her for suspense sake as she gets her Spanish friend to decipher it. Write love notes on balloons with markers. I drove past a house once where someone had put a small sign on the front lawn saying "I love you Julie" with balloons and hearts glued to it. It was so novel, I had never seen anything like that before. Imagine doing something like that for your girl. Make a love tape for your wife telling her to go to the closet where she sees a new dress you bought her. You instruct her to meet you somewhere for a date. The rest of the tape has nostalgic love music from when you first met. When she meets you, you try to relive your first date as best as you can. Do the phone sex deal for him at work. Call him up and say something like, "I miss you so much. I'm gonna suck you hard. Destroy your cock." When you get home, then hang up without another word. If he doesn't call back, call him again in 15 minutes with another sexy message. Subtly persuade him to call you back with a sexy message of his own. If your beau hasn't called lately, send them a plastic phone with your number taped to it. Buy a bunch of Valentines in season, then send them to her year-round along with love music tapes that you've made yourself. While she is otherwise engaged, clean her car, put flowers in it, a love tape, and return it. Do the little things like write a love note on a green shamrock for St. Patrick's Day. Cover an entire wall with love notes and cards that he's sent you over the years, then offer yourself to him in appreciation. Make love notes and leave them everywhere. The benefactor should keep them and put them in an album for a rainy day. Send love notes while you're away. Go to a photocopy shop and have a love note blown up to poster size. Leave love note in the washing machine/dishwasher. Every day for a week or a month, send your beau love notes/cards near your anniversary or Valentine's Day. Hide love notes in his office. Fill her car up with balloons, each of which you've put a love note in. Leave a hairpin taped to the window inviting her to bust them for a special message. Write "I love you" on the butter with a knife. Buy your cutie a girly Smurfette stuffed toy or any other stuffed animal. Send him a piece of your lingerie when he's away on business. Write his name on your bra and your undergarments. Frame a picture of you two in a heart shape and send it to him. On Valentine's Day, give her a card with date coupons that will be redeemed on the 14th day of the following 11 months. Get one of those high-tech puzzle places to make a puzzle of your wedding picture. Have a Potter or novelty shop make up a mug with a personal love message on it. Surprise her with little gifts, little dates, going out on a whim, etc. Name your boat after her. Copy your wedding vows down on a piece of paper and get a calligrapher to write them out nicely, or simply copy them neatly on a piece of paper, frame them and hang them prominently above your bed as a prominent reminder of who are and what you're all about. Take to be my lawfully wedded wife/husband and to love her in a way that I have never loved anyone else before until death do us part. We underscore 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 and underscore 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 accept your love, God, and your forgiveness and promise to put you first in everything in our lives. Thank you for giving us a beautiful marriage. Buy cards and send them by mail to your partner's work, or better still, draw your own. Call each other sometimes just to exchange love strokes over the phone. Secretly make a snowman and with black paint, brush a love note on it. Write or spray paint a love note in the snow under your lover's window. Write a love poem. Spontaneous love phone calls. Call a rural nursery or florist and make a deal for leftover flowers, then fill the house or bedroom with them. Send flowers. They don't have to be expensive. You could even drive around and pick some wildflowers on the side of the road. Play little games like leave notes in a scavenger hunt to lead your partner to a romantic setting where you're waiting. On 2 white sheets, make a big banner proclaiming your love and hang it in the front yard. You can buy one at Goodwill for $3. Get a button made of a photo of your beau or get some personalized messages on it. Send love postcards to work so everyone will see them. Writing the words "I love you" somehow has a way of legitimizing them. In your garage, simply write it on the wall with paint, or take a Bristol board and make up love posters. Make up homemade love cards. Write love song. Buy the sheet music to your favorite love song and send it to her. Write out the lyrics to your favorite love song on a card and send it to her. If you know your beau listens to a radio station, call up and request a song for them. If your beau watches a TV show or reads a particular newspaper/magazine, try an ad or commercial to brighten their day. Make a video or tape for your beau with your voice muttering sweet nothings, or you in the video doing whatever just for their eyes only. Some chick made a videotape of herself masturbating while she talked sexy and gave it to her boyfriend as a gift. Take pictures of yourself naked, write sexy messages on the backs of them and send them to your lover. Make a special birthday cake with inscribed love message on a sterling silver stand. Send "I love you" messages in several different languages. Put flowers in her car. Make simple love song cassettes with your voice intersprinkled in amongst them. Get and slash or cut out red hearts. Hang them anywhere en masse with messages inside of them. Make a list of love things to do and post it on your closet door. Hire airplane with love banner. Send her the Queen of Hearts playing card along with a love message. Bake him some special fortune cookies with love messages in them. Decorate his brown paper bag lunch with red hearts. Put love banners in the car. Get a calendar. Write dates on it when the two of you plan to do things together. Write love statements on some of the other dates. Get a street musician to play a special song for her. Create your own crossword puzzles with messages of your love for him. Chisel your name in a large rock. Carve out "Joe loves Jenny" in a heart on the tree in your yard, or carve it out or woodburn it on a heart-shaped piece of wood and give it to her as a gift. Use body paint to paint love messages on yourself or paint each other for fun. It washes off in the shower. Send him a safety pin or a pair of handcuffs, telling him you're stuck on him. Send her a rose for every year you've been together. Send a sexy telegram. Sing a song to her, on tape if your voice is that bad. Send a love telegram asking for a date. Put an ad in the local paper proclaiming your love, or write up your romantic love story, then send it to the editor near your anniversary. If it's heartwarming, they will write it up. Go to the trophy shop and get a trophy engraved, "To the love of my life." Unravel a roll of toilet paper. Write a love message on it. Reroll it. Buy a puzzle. Spray white paint on it. Write love messages on it, then give it to your beau as a gift or as a clue to a big date. Not too many pieces. Send a romantic, written request for a mapped out date. Write a love message with shaving cream in the shower or lipstick in the mirror. Build a snowman and put a red heart on it. If you can't kiss him, send him some Hershey kisses. Try the happy birthday balloon type messages. Send flowers to the workplace instead of the home so that others will see her get them. Buy/make heart-shaped love food like cheese. If he's acting loony, Send him a box of nuts with a quirky message in it. If you have a swimming pool, put a love banner at the bottom of it. Buy hundreds of balloons and blow them up in the house for her. Embroider a love message for him. Put wildflowers in her mailbox. Invite her for a date via cassette tape. If you have to work late, call her up and talk sweetly on the phone for a few minutes. Buy heart-shaped candies and chocolates and give them out as gifts anytime. Send her a love gift on her lunch break. Buy her a copy of a bridal magazine, hint, hint. When using paper plates on a picnic, write a love message on it. Rent a flashing electronic sign for your yard. Talk sexy on the phone. For the shy and slow of tongue. There are short love letters that you send to your spouse for no reason other than to declare your love. However, there are also serious heartfelt love letters where you can get your feelings out on paper at your own leisure and leave it somewhere where your lover will find it alone, read it and be able to quietly reflect on your touching act. Whether you want to fall in love, are falling in love, married with a great wife or married with problems, nothing, absolutely nothing is better than a serious, heartfelt love letter where you say what you truly feel in your heart. Double the effect by hiding it in a place where she will find it, like on her car seat, in her purse, etc., so she will be able to read it alone and think about it. This is the simplest, greatest, most inexpensive thing you can do for your love. If you're really cool, send her a tape of love music with it or a tape with you saying how you feel about her. As I already said, the way to make any cheap gift great is simply to scrawl out a little love letter with it. Chapter 3. The Art of Talk. Talk like a winner. Most people have such big egos or are just so plain stupid that they don't realize the way to make friends and influence people is to seduce them with interest. Don't be phony charming but act real, like you're genuinely interested in them and their life story. You can get more flies with honey than with a fly swatter, and the same works for people. The thing is, don't necessarily inquire about their personal lives. Talk about superficial things that they're interested in, like their hobbies and interests. If you show them that you're trying to manipulate them or go against them, they'll put up their ego shields and try to get you back. Be easy, cool and fun. The way to make people like you is to engage in small talk so that you each get a sense of each other. Treat people like they're part of your family. Pay attention to the little details. Always be pleasant. Be a middle-of-the-road type of person who makes others feel comfortable. Don't run off at the mouth. Move fluidly from one subject to another. Know when the conversation is over and bow out gracefully. Uses pauses and silence in moderation to let the conversation take on a natural rhythm. Don't be too profound or a know-it-all. Don't interrupt. Don't dominate. Be yourself unless you're a bore, then learn to act happy. Be interesting but not a bore. Speak gently and softly. There's no such thing as perfect in conversation. Talk is a work of art in progress. If someone makes a mistake, ignore it and keep going on. Never correct anybody or give unsolicited advice. Go with the flow. In formal situations, play it their way. Always be civil. Speak with your body, from the heart. It's a spiritual flow. There's a natural, balanced flow for good conversation. Strive for that. Learn to recognize the natural cues others send when they've said their piece and give you your turn. It's in the eyes, in the pause, head movements, etc. Act like a friend, a coach, like you respect their ideas and need their input, like you're all part of a team and you need them to score the goal, i.e., to get the job done. Don't ever be a cynical critic. People move away from you like flies who just got invited to a poop party. All those negative radio talk show hosts never last long because people get tired of them putting everybody down every day. Their only fans are negative people like themselves. Don't put anyone down for a cheap laugh. Don't be too open, don't disclose extremely personal, uncomfortable things. Don't compete with anyone in a game of own-upmanship. It's not a debate. Don't play teacher. Honor the differences of others. Don't be dominant or weak. Don't be loud or arrogant. Don't use excessive body language. Be calm, just a few hand gestures. If the topic is boring or taboo, quickly move on to the next one. Everybody hates boring conversation. Show your depth as a human being by switching from topic to topic. Don't talk sex or religion. Politics is fine because it's all bull anyway. If there are opposite sex people involved, be wary of the subtle, flirting body language interactions going along with the conversation. You have to learn to bite your tongue. Don't talk too much or too wise. If you think you're impressing anyone by spewing off all the garbage you learned in school or on TV, all you're revealing is that you're a jerk. A quiet, well-placed comment works much better than a motor mouth know-it-all, and I've seen plenty of them around. The real art of talk is not only to say the right thing at the right time but to keep your mouth shut at the wrong time. Silence is golden. If you don't say much, people think you're smart. When you do speak, don't lie. Always speak the truth and say things only you believe in. When you speak the truth, you develop credibility. If you lie and it's detected, all is lost. Don't act. Be yourself, stand naked, revealing your true self to the world. Treat everybody objectively, without prejudice. Don't try to fill uncomfortable silences or lulls in the conversation with useless, dumb, idiotic trivial stuff that'll end up embarrassing you. When in doubt, keep your mouth shut. People are tuned into tone of voice. That gives your real inner soul away. Always speak with a smooth, gentle voice. Practice if you have to, but don't be too smooth. Never use 50-cent words inappropriately. That means talk like you take every day to your friends. Don't use stupid words like utilize instead of use or any other big words that you learned in college. They stink of pretense. Your best bet is not to be intimidated by anyone. Be straight, direct, and personable. Anyone with any position of authority does not automatically have magical wisdom over you. They're just ordinary human beings like you with some credentials manufactured by the system. It doesn't change them primally. Everyone is on the same level regardless of what airs they might put on. Don't let any job or corporation turn you into a quivering mass of suck-hole gel. Stand your ground even if it means losing your job. If you're that good, you'll get another job soon enough. You also have to learn to bite your tongue when you're frustrated and angry. If you badmouth someone in a moment of anger, you may regret it later. Better to keep your mouth shut for 10 seconds than gracefully talk it through, whatever it is. Anger is one letter short of danger. Learn to control your emotions so that if someone disses you in some way, you don't just react with another low blow. Stay cool, think about for several seconds, then act gracefully whatever you do. You either turn away quietly, smile at the perpetrator, or say something nice and gentle. Catch them off guard. Make them realize they're the idiots. Life is too short for you to argue and deal with assholes. You just stop it right there. If they see your reaction as a sign of weakness and keep hounding you, you can either ignore them and leave/keep taking it, or call their bluff, call them an idiot, look them in the eye and challenge them either physically or verbally. They'll usually back down. Even if they're stronger than you, most people in civilized situations won't fight, and once you show your Wolverine's dander, they'll know you're not a pushover and leave you alone to pick on a more convenient target. It came to that for me several times in my life. You can be a cool guy and take so much, but once they cross the line, it's over. Tell them to fuck off, call them an idiot, tell them what you really think, humiliate them, and if it comes to blows, let all your rage out even if they're bigger and stronger. Your violent intensity will win the day. If someone says something negative, it may not be personal. It may just be their justified exasperation against you or your company. Take a moment to think it through, admit wrongdoing, feel for them and help them out. The quickest way to stop someone dead in their complaining tracks is to agree with them. Even if they're wrong, it's better to ignore it than to start a war. Try to develop a sense of humor. Fight animosity with jokes and fun to ease the tension. Don't take anything too hard. If someone's got a real problem, talk them through it like a friend. Everybody wants to get things off their chest and be understood. Be quiet. Listen, listen, listen. Look them in the eyes. Get close to them. Let them talk their butts off, then when it's over, they'll see you as a friend. If someone attacks you verbally, you can bounce back with a poison verbal attack of your own, or you can quietly ignore it, smile slightly and just be peaceful about it. This will either make the transgressor more angry, which is good because he'll look like an idiot, or it'll disarm him. He'll quiet right down. It's okay to be assertive, but it's not really necessary because life shouldn't be that pressured. Just be your unassuming, calm natural self. Most arguments are a clash of egos regardless of what's being said. Conflicts are battles for control. The bottom line is that you can't win an argument, and if you do, it's hollow because it's like you're belittling the other person and they'll despise you for it. Your best course of action is to use good manners and end the argument. Even pretend to lose if you have to and let the other guy save face even though you know he's a schmuck. That way he still thinks you're his friend. You have to be a bigger person than the other guy to not have such a big ego that you have to win to save your ego and belittle the other ego. It's a sad society that seems to encourage people to win at all costs, and that means arguing. Be a buddy always. Think like a politician, be friends with everyone. Whenever I meet a jerk, I patronize them with phony friendliness. They either see it and get the hint or really think that I'm their friend. Either way, I win. Never get into an argument, and if one starts, deflect it away. What ya care? Life's too short. You don't have to feed your ego by arguing with losers. You're strong enough already in your mind. It don't matter anyway, cause everyone lives in their own space, seeing themselves as fantastic individuals, so you ain't ever gonna change anyone in an argument. If you wanna change someone, help out someone who needs it, like a kid or a homeless loser. The way to be a good leader is to act like you're all working together for the final goal. Instead of bossing people around, make requests. Be a good person. Help people. Show kindness. They'll love you forever. Don't see problems, see only possibilities. Keep an even keel, a middle ground. Even if you have extremist views, when dealing with people, you have to be cool and take the middle ground even if you don't agree with it. You have to show your moral compass, structure, and order that people around you have to abide by, but it has to be reasonable. Be firm if you have to, but don't belittle people. Stand for something, stand for yourself. You choose your own mind, your own life, your own happiness, and reflect it back at those people that are around you. Only weak people are rude. All cruelty comes from fear and weakness. It gives people away immediately. Don't tolerate it. Talk to them about it in the privacy of your office. People who think they're superior must necessarily think and act to make others feel inferior. Give all assholes a second chance, but not a third. Encourage people to share their ideas with you. If there are jerks around, choose your battles wisely. As I already said, if you have to fight, make it decisive. Even if you lose, you send a message that you're playing for keeps. The truth is that beyond a few super strong people, most fights aren't pushovers. A small person can give a big person a good go if you're tenacious, so don't be afraid to fight if you have to. In the end, talk is cheap. I've seen an endless amount of assholes in college classes and at group meetings blab away thinking they were impressing us with their knowledge of trivial matters, but the reality is that the people in the know that talk is cheap and prefer to rely on character as the true yardstick of a person, so don't take too much heed in blabbing away, because in the end, your true performance and real character will show through, unless you're a politician with some sleazy publicists who can manipulate the media and show only your top sound bites. Learn to lose arguments with your loved ones in order to win in your relationships. Don't use condescending words like wimp or bitch. You can find these type of self-improvement type books at number 153 to number 156 at the library. Speech training, voice training. If you want to be an intelligent, thoughtful person, words should be your business. If you want to make a good impression on people, your voice should be your business. Speech is learned during early childhood but can be changed during adulthood if necessary. You should try to speak proper English at all times. Avoid street talk, slang, the vernacular, regional dialects, and jargon, talk specific to a subgroup like medical field or bikers. Street talk may sound cool in some contexts but most of the time it comes off as crass and cheap. Play it safe and stick with objective English when you're with strangers or business acquaintances. When you speak, try to show your love of the language without being pompous. Paint pictures with your words and stories. Be interesting, use neat words and phrases. Practice conversation. There's a difference between functional conversation and entertainment conversation. Be a good listener. Listening is a big part of conversation. The voice is made up of several qualities. Pitch, low to high. Inflection, pitch variety, expressive speech, rise and fall. Energy, level of enthusiasm. Duration, like the differences in musical notes, the duration is how much time you spend on a word or syllable and emphasize it. Volume, loudness or softness, overbearing, shy or insecure. Tempo, rate of speed at which you speak, fast or slow. Mood, emotional state, up or down. The voice should be pleasant, melodious, energetic, clear, interesting, pleasing, creative, articulate, and friendly, well modulated, full and rich. Think before you speak and speak with quiet confidence. The tone should be medium, not too soft or too high, and you should vary the inflection rising and falling appropriately as you speak so as not to speak in a monotone. Most people speak in too high a pitch range. You should speak in the lower third of your pitch range. Speak with a smile in your voice. This is especially important on the phone where people judge you totally based on the quality of your voice. Varying the volume and inflection adds to the animation in speech. Sometimes whispering or speaking softly is very effective because it catches people off guard. The biggest voice turn-offs are a nasal twang, bossy, aggressive voice and shrill, whiny voices. A nasal twang comes from expelling air through the nose instead of the mouth. If you have it, practice to get rid of it. The way to practice training your voice is to articulate. Say the alphabet and all the other double consonant sounds like sh, ch, str, br, sn, tr, etc. Practice high and low vowel sounds. Practice hard words. Look at yourself in the mirror when you speak. The three major nasal sounds are and ing. Practice them. Record yourself. Read passages out of books. Find poetry, number 811 at the library, with alliteration and onomatopoeia, which are literary devices where the sounds are the same, like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. You can practice by saying these hard phrases over and over again. The biggest speech turn-offs are: a limited vocabulary, doesn't articulate clearly, bad grammar, regional accents, mumbling, incorrect verb tenses, lack of fullness in speech, mispronunciation, poor vocabulary, lack of inflection, up or down in voice, improper volume, too fast or too slow, motor mouth. The human vocal cords are 3/4 inch long. The lower part is muscle, the rear part is cartilage. It vibrates 256 times per second on average. It's a muscle. When you speak loudly, it vibrates 2 to 3 times faster than normal and gets tired. When irritated, it could get infected. When you cough, it's your vocal cords smacking together. If you irritate the vocal cords, talking softly is better than whispering. Not talking at all is best. The vocal cords modulate the breath that passes through them. For maximal voice quality, just the right amount of air must pass through them. You can practice by inhaling and exhaling. The vocal cords are very tender and easily damaged, such as when you talk too loudly and / or for too long. If you speak for an extended period of time, you must keep the vocal cords moist by drinking water as you speak. The body converts water into lubricating mucus. When you clear your throat, it means your vocal cords are too dry. You should drink more water. The vocal cords cause a buzzing sound. The lips, tongue, and teeth are what give you speech. Cold air is bad for the vocal cords. Breath through your nose in such situations. Some tips to increase your command of the language are: read good books. Read the dictionary. When you find interesting words, write them down. Practice talking to people. Play word games with people like Scrabble. Play word games by yourself like crossword puzzles, word game software. Watch high-end shows on TV and listen to stuff like National Public Radio, NPR. Some talking tips are: listen with empathy and understanding. Don't let your feelings interfere with good conversation, meaning don't get too emotional either way. When you assume anything, you make an ass out of you. Don't criticize, complain, judge, patronize or berate anyone. Never offer unsolicited advice. Books about voice, speech, and speaking are at #808.50-52 at the library. American Speech Language Hearing Association. ASHA.org. Win an argument. The secret to winning arguments is to play it cool and act like you're listening to the other guy intently. First off, let him say his piece without you interrupting him. When he gets it all off his chest, he'll feel better than listen to you. Simply spit back to him what he just told you in your own words to let him know that you understand, and state your case. Never get personal. Keep the argument on the topic at hand. Don't put him down personally. Chapter 4. A Listener Guide. How to listen/be a good listener. Everybody wants the other side to listen to them, but the key to great communication is to listen first, show you understand, and put your 2 cents worth in. When a guy killed the guy who his girlfriend was cheating with, the interviewer on TV asked him why he picked her in the first place, and he said because she listened to him. This is the one thing that everybody wants in a partner, someone who listens to them when they talk about their lives. When you listen to someone, talk at their level. It doesn't matter that you're advanced being trying to impress their peewee brains. What matters is that you talk at their level, whatever it might be. All good salesmen know this. Think that you're soothing them. People use their God and their pets as sounding boards. They talk to them, unloading all their problems and stresses, while the statue or picture of their God or their pet quietly sits there and listens. This should be you to your lover or friend, especially a guy for females. Females need to talk and unload way more than men. It's very simple to be a good listener. Keep your mouth shut most of the time. Ask a few questions, nod your head, grunt positively a few times, use body language to show that you understand, look at the person, don't interrupt, don't change the subject, and feel for the person. Good listener websites. cnr.berkeley.edu/ucce50/ag-labor/7 article/article40.htm, listening first aid, empathetic listening. d.umn.edu/student/loon/academic/strat/ss_listening.html, listening skills. Directions/advice.org/cadre/section 4.cfm, communication skills. elmhurst.edu/library/learning center/listening/effective_listening_skills.htm. inc.com/guide/growth/23032.html, communications guide, how to improve your communication skills. livestrong.com/article/14657-improving-listening-skills. managementhelp.org/coms/kls/listen/gd_vs_pr.htm, good vs bad listening. managementhelp.org/coms/kls/listen/listen.htm, interpersonal listening skills. queendom.com/test/take_test.php?? I test =2288, interpersonal communication skills test. mindtools.com/comskll/active-listening.htm. Chapter 5. A Public Speaking Guide. Be a Public Speaker 1. Blessed is the man who, having nothing to say, abstains from giving wordy evidence of the fact. George Eliot, English novelist. The key to successful public speaking is preparation. Know your subject. Organize your thoughts on note cards. Make it personal. It has to be something you like to do. Above all else, be sincere. The golden rule is to enjoy or act like you enjoy what you're talking about. Get involved with your audience. If you speak candidly from the heart, nothing else really matters. As a former teacher, I had to become a master public speaker to keep the students entertained. That's the real challenge to any public speaker, to get them so spellbound in what you're saying that you can hear a pin drop in the room. It's so interesting. Unfortunately, this happens very rarely. Most of the time it's just kind of like a routine exchange of information, which is wrong in and of itself if you don't spice it up with personal anecdotes and interesting facts and figures you've picked up from other sources like real life, magazines, books, TV, etc. Multimedia helps, but in the end, it's just a gimmick. Nothing replaces the speaker in direct contact with his audience. Multimedia is simply any technical aid that you might use, like an overhead projector, cassette recorder, VCR, movie, computer, etc. Public speaking, getting up to speak in front of a crowd, is one of the greatest phobias that people have. They're afraid they'll get flustered and nervous when that instant happens, when all eyes are on them waiting to be educated or entertained, and they'll start stuttering or lose control. One way to deal with it is to come in with the attitude that you're the guy in control, not in an aggressive kind of way, but you're the man, you're in charge and you're gonna do it. Instead of focusing on yourself and your petty ego, focus on your listeners, their needs to hear a good speech. Focus on yourself as a conduit of positive power, passing it off to them. Everybody gets nervous before speaking before an audience. I've been up close with veterans like full professors. All get nervous. After 4 years of teaching, I still had a few seconds of anxiety sometimes before I walked into the classroom. It helps if you feel good about yourself physically, meaning wearing some good clothes, get all cleaned up and groomed so you look the best you can, to give you some extra confidence. To me, it's all about speaking how I think, simply, clearly, following a pattern of logic that makes sense. There's got to be one definite main point to your speech, the theme. A speech about everything is a speech about nothing. Anyone can spew out a bunch of facts about a topic, but to try to present it in a developmental fashion that weaves a story and has a definite conclusion or endpoint is a true art form. Forget about fancy words and flowery phrases, keep it simple, stupid, kiss. To be perfectly corny, a great speech is a speech that reflects the care the speaker has given to make it worthwhile for his audience. Be brief. It's too bad that school is all about long, tedious lectures. A true speech should be short and sweet, 20 minutes tops and you're out of there. You can say the most important thing in the world in 20 minutes. Be light with your presentation. Humor is good if it makes sense to your speech. Don't make a joke out of something unrelated out of the blue. Show the audience that you understand them with your insights. Pacing is everything. Don't rush. Develop your own tempo. When you screw up, ignore it and keep going. Don't stall ever, keep it moving. Be yourself. Thank the audience for their time. Open the floor for questions, then tell them in a definite statement that it's over. They can leave or come meet you if they want. Don't be overly friendly like the audience is your good buddy from way back. Know your place, you have to earn their respect. Speak louder than your normal talking voice. Look at individuals for a few seconds each right in the eye to let them know that you're with it. Don't ever read anything for more than 30 seconds to a minute. It's okay to get away from the lectern and move around a bit even into the audience while speaking. Be a little animated with your hands, body movements, voice inflection, etc. Instead of stammering with or pause to give the audience time to absorb the info. Use your own gestures, respect your own quirks. Get rid of your ego and put the attention on your listeners. Speak in a flow. Do what comes naturally. Speak as simply as possible. In a nutshell, the name of the game is preparation and experience. Experience will ease the tension, but every polished speaker prepares like crazy before the big speech by writing out all the ideas, then going over them in his mind until he's just about got it committed to memory. Of course, you bring the notes in with you when you're making your speech, but you can't realistically expect to look at them for more than a few seconds to refresh your mind. There have to be keywords there that spark off the whole concept for you. When the president goes on TV for a big State of the Union address, he's gone over that speech with a fine-tooth comb at least 5 times the night before, practicing and editing with his speech writers. He makes it look easy, but he worked his butt off to get it that way. Visualize it in your mind. You have to put yourself into situations where you practice and practice. Be a public speaker too. The easiest way to learn public speaking is to become a teacher and teach a course for a while. That's the only way to master it. The most important thing is to be yourself, say what you have to say, no more and no less. Be polite, friendly, and nice. Don't try to act eloquent and phony. Say it like you're telling it to a group of 10-year-old friendly faces. For me, it was kind of like a spiritual, intuitive thing. I would write my ideas, memorize them and spice them up with things from my own life, and I would try to present it as an unfolding story. A good public speaker is a master storyteller. Of course, you can't always do this with dry material, but you should try to do the best you can. Tell a story that makes sense. Don't knock 'em dead in the first 2 minutes, then go flat for the rest of the time. Try to build it up to the whammo points. Use your charm and charisma to make the main points with passion if need be. Listen to the voice within. Release the true natural flow of what you really feel about the subject. Sing it with words figuratively, but don't get too dramatic. Keep both feet on the ground. Paint a picture on a canvas with words. Stand up to your audience as though it's you and your naked self, revealing yourself to them. Don't be arrogant. Don't assume anything. Explain all points adequately, but don't get so caught up with trivial points that you lose sight of the theme. Don't rush out of nervousness. Give them time to digest the information between points. That means to pause and say nothing for several seconds. Don't rely on your audience to be sympathetic. You're up there alone. They're in a passive frame of mind. They expect you to entertain them, and some even think that you're an expert on the subject matter even though you just learned it yourself the night before. You'll find a few sympathizing souls in the audience, some people who actually like you personally and will come up to talk to you after your speech. Some people are brown-nosers, doing everything by the book to get brownie points. You can't deny them because they're trying. Humor helps, throw a few jokes in to lighten it up. Some people start with a joke, quote, or a story, or they'll write something out on the board. Speak slowly. Try to get a good tone to your voice. Don't ramble. Don't use your hands if you're not comfortable with it, and don't use them excessively as mannerisms while you speak. Just use a good balance. You don't have to walk around much. You can just stay in place. For classroom speaking, writing things on the board is good because students like to take notes and it sets a pace for the lesson. If your mouth gets dry as mine would, bring a glass of water with you. Don't be cute. Not all people are on your wavelength. Your cute story will be embarrassing if it backfires. People will just look at you with no response whatsoever. Just be straight up and direct. Communicate your information. Allow questions and answer them to the best of your ability. If someone challenges you, be cool. Tell them you can't split hairs, you can only take information so far. This is your job, you have other interests besides this. The others LL take your side. If you're teaching, ask questions, then pause to put pressure on them to answer. Don't try to please everybody. You'll always get a few cynics who'll act bored and sneer at you regardless of what you do. People are usually nervous for the first minute or so, but once they get the juices flowing, they're okay. I always approached my lesson plans with the idea of basic simplicity. I would start by defining what I was going to say, introduction, say it, main body, then review it all, conclusion. Don't get carried away with subsidiary thoughts, just stick with the main points. Repeat them if necessary. In a nutshell, use the following guidelines. Feel fresh and confident. Have a good opening. Don't get bogged down with details. Keep it simple. Know your stuff. Identify your key points. Believe in what you say. Use some humor. Don't be too long. Don't be overly dramatic. Be straightforward. If in doubt, cut it out. Know your audience. Be ready to fly by the seat of your pants, meaning be spontaneous if you feel the urge. Use visual aids or chalk. Give handouts, etc. Take it easy. Lighten up. It's only a speech. Rehearse several times. Be aware of your body at all times. Always ask if there are any questions. You can give lectures, seminars, speeches, workshops, offer a class, offer consulting services as an expert, or even sponsor an entire convention around your particular theme, inviting other speakers in. You can either rent hotel convention rooms or find bookstores, stores related to your subject area, libraries, churches, and learning institutions to rent you space for a nominal fee. You can contact cruise ship companies, addresses in my travel book, and ask them if they'd like you to speak in your chosen topic. They might not pay you but give you free passage where you can plug your books. If you want to go on the lecture circuit professionally, get a lecture agent to represent you. For a list of lecture agents, either get Richard Weiner's Professional Guide to Public Relations Services or refer to the appendix of Jeffrey Lant's Unabashed Self-Promoter's Guide. You can find lots of books about public speaking at #808.51 at the library. Some deal with fear, some with humor, some are Toastmaster books. The 800s at the library is the literature section. You might find some interesting one-liner, quote-type books from #808.00 to #808.85 to spice up your speech. The humorous literature section is number 817. Public speaking websites. Toastmasters.org. 800, 9 We Speak. abacon.com/pubspeak. Antion.com, advice on giving speeches and presentations. Betterpresenter.com. business-ethics.org/pubspeaking.html. businessperform.com/article/speaking_effectively.html. centraltoastmasters.org. collegespeakingsuccess.com. dalecarnegie.com. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/business_speak. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/public_speaking_and_influencing_men_in_business, written by Dale Carnegie and first published in 1913. entrepreneur.com/public relations/public speaking/archive116032.html. great-speeches.org. leadersinstitute.com/public-speaking/article/business presentation.html. nationalcenterspeakertraining.com. nsaspeaker.org. public-speaking.org. speaking-tips.com. speaking.com. speakingcircles.com. speakingsuccess.com. speechmastery.com. speech-writers.com. talkpower.com, talkpowr.com, NYC, 800-525-3718, 212-684-1711, media consultant, focuses on public speaking. Toastmasters.com. Toastmasters.org. Tyboed.com, Excellence in Speaking Institute. WestsideToastmasters.com. Toastmasters Club. 800-993-7732. 949-858-8255. Fax, 949-858-1207. Toastmasters.org. National Public Speaking Club. Myers Institute for Communication and Leadership. Pub 7. Dayton, Tennessee, 37321. 423-570-1000. Fax, 423-570-1001. info@myersinstitute.com. myersinstitute.com. Secrets of Great Communicators Speech Course. Do a Presentation Websites. soyou1.com/site/syws/speaking/speaking.html, deliver an effective speech. plu.edu/libar/media/designing_visuals.html, designing presentation visuals. ccp.rpi.edu/presentation.html, guidelines for making presentations. headc.otago.ac.nz/headc/sld/study-guides-and-resources.html, making oral presentations. ruf.rice.edu/riceowl/oral_presentations.htm, making oral presentations. speech-guru.com. griffith.edu.au/center/griffith_graduate/toolkit/oral/y.htm, oral communication toolkit. actdn.com/pp, PowerPoint in the classroom. office.microsoft.com/n-us, PowerPoint resources, Microsoft. presentersonline.com. presentersuniversity.com. strategiccom.com/resources.html, Strategic Communications Resource Library. newconversations.net. ljlseminars.com/monktip.htm, free speaking tips. toastmasters.org/tips.asp, speaking tips.